What's up, y'all? My name is JR, and for those of you who don't already know, I'm a huge movie and TV nerd. If you're new here, I appreciate you taking the time to check out my channel. I hope you consider sticking around and joining the film community I'm trying to build here on YouTube. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the upcoming Paramount Plus series, Dexter Resurrection, and what I believe the writers absolutely must do in the first season in order to make bringing back this character yet again worth all the hassle from a narrative standpoint. Now, there are no spoilers on this one as the show is still a month away from its premiere date, so we don't have to worry about all that. And with that being said, no more wasting time. Let's get into it. Dexter Resurrection is an upcoming crime drama mystery television series developed by Clyde Phillips. It is a sequel series to Dexter New Blood and Dexter, and it features Michael C. Hall reprising his role as Dexter Morgan alongside Peter Dinklage, David Zayas, Jack Alcott, James Remar, Uma Thurman, Natari Mouine, Kadia Saraf, Dominic Formusa, and Amelia Suarez. And the show is slated to premiere on Paramount Plus with Showtime on July 11th of this year. Now, I would consider myself to be more than a fan of the original Dexter series. I can admit that the end of the series was shit. But when Dexter New Blood was announced, I saw it as a limited series that presented the opportunity for the writers to right the wrongs of the original series. But again, I was let down by the ending. This time with a little bit of cheese on the taco for my trouble, you know what I mean? And then we got Dexter Original Sin, which initially I thought was a mistake. And after having watched the season, I still think it was maybe a mistake. And at this point, the only thing that would determine just how much of a mistake it really was is whether or not the show will have a second season. And maybe that's been decided already and I'm just been out of the loop. But, you know, from last thing I heard, we weren't sure if the show was going to get another season or if it was going to be done. You guys can comment in the comments and let me know if I missed something there. Because Dexter apparently did not die at the end of New Blood. So here, according to the latest trailer for Dexter Resurrection, we are preparing for Dexter to be revived at the hospital and then gently confronted by Batista before making a run for it. Following Harrison's trail all the way to New York City, where we will wait with bated breath to find out if Harrison indeed decides to take up his father's mantle in the Big Apple, all while Daddy does his damnedest to track him down in the city of 8 million people. And I don't really know how to feel at this point, because at this point, it feels like Dexter's story may never end. But, nevertheless, here we are. So in order to make this show, worth the squeeze, in my opinion, here are a few things that the writers need to address with the absolute gypsiness, that being in the first season of the show. First things first, the writers have to properly address Batista's feelings about finding Dexter alive. And by that, I mean he has to hunt that ass down after he takes off from the hospital, or get someone to do it on his behalf, because he is currently retired after all. Because from what I saw in the trailer, it seems like Batista's happy to see him. And at this point, it feels like the writers are trying to double down on nonsense, because keep in mind that Dexter's girlfriend from Dexter New Blood thinks he's the Bay Harbor Butcher. And now Batista also has this information that she thinks he's the Bay Harbor Butcher. Keep in mind, Batista sat there and watched Dexter murder a dude in the final episode of the original series. So I need the writers to miss me with this idea that Batista still ain't putting two and two together. I mean, he's not that shitty of a cop. And so I need that to be addressed right away. Now, we also need to figure out if Harrison is a killer for real, for real. I mean, we've already seen that he can hurt someone. And I mean, he stabbed a kid at school. He, helped his dad kill the big bad from Dexter New Blood, and he shot his own pops. Right, so we know he can hurt someone if he needs to, but we need to know if he's literally going to go into the family business, and that needs to happen by season's end. Because according to the report from Collider, this is a show, meaning it has multiple seasons planned. So I would lean towards Harrison becoming a killer. So just brace yourself for that, right? Now, also, Dexter's got to be at full breach, right? Which I'm sure he will be, because that's the very thing that makes the show go. In addition, with what looks to be a rather interesting cast, I really am impressed with the casting. And speaking of the cast, I'm really surprised to see Uma Thurman doing TV, but, okay. But we need a continuation of the show's typical format in that we need a big bad, right? Which, if the trailer is any indication, it looks like it might be set up to be Peter Dinklage's character, which means Dexter will have to kill him by season's end. And who knows, maybe him and Harrison tag team that ass. That could be an interesting way to set the show up for a long run. Basically, father and son kind of doing the dirt to folks, together. And a cherry on top, they got Batista running them down the whole time. That could be interesting. So look, I'm going to support this show. Mostly to cover it here, but also because I'm invested. I've literally been invested for almost 20 years now. But that doesn't mean I'm not worried. And what worries me about this whole situation is that this show is not going to be the old show, right? We're not in Miami anymore. Deb's gone. Rita's gone. Most of the Miami Metro heads are gone. And so, and I believe that the setting, Miami was just as much responsible for the show's success as any of the other major elements, including some of the supporting characters, right? The other thing that gets my goat here is that it may literally be years now before we even get a chance at the ending that we all know has always needed to happen for real fans of the Dexter series to truly be satisfied after all the years we've spent supporting this show. And even once Michael C. Hall's character finally runs out of road, history has taught me that the writers don't like us enough to give us the ending that they know we want and truly deserve. But what do you guys think? Are you a fan of Dexter Morgan? If you are you looking forward to this new show and the continuation of Dexter's story? Let me know in the comments. And for those of you that might be new to the channel, be sure to like and share this video. If you really like the content, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you'll be notified whenever I drop a new video. You can also support this channel by leaving a super thanks. If you should be so inclined, I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, be sure to go and check out themadScreenwriter.com for more television and film reviews and info on my upcoming film projects. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I got screenplays to write. And I'll catch y'all in the next video.